Right now you're listening to this goofy guy, so you have been warned. But here's the thing, I'm a bit of an expert when it comes to depression. Because when I was 7 years old, I was clinically diagnosed with depression. I went to therapy for close to a decade. And so I have experience with a lot of these things. And here's the thing, I think therapy might be a bit of a scam. Now that is my experience and you might have a completely different experience. And that is completely fine. But here's the thing, therapy did nothing for me. And so if I sold you a pill and you took it for close to a decade and it did nothing, you would clearly call it a scam. And so that's my experience with therapy. So I'm going to call it a scam. And I've never heard of anyone who says, you know what, I started going to therapy and 2 weeks later my depression was gone. Never heard that. But once again, maybe your experience is completely different. But back to the topic of why I say that you are not depressed and you are simply lazy. Why would I say that as a person who knows how difficult it can be to get out of bed when you're depressed? How difficult it can be to do even the basic things of, brushing your teeth, taking a shower, even forgetting to eat food. And sometimes going to the opposite end, eating too much food. I know that. So why would I say such a provocative claim? Well, here's what helped me with my depression. It was doing something. And that sounds like the most clear thing to me is that if you go for a run, you don't feel depressed. If you go to the gym and you work out, you don't feel depressed. If you work on something that you care about, like these videos for me, for example, you're not depressed. The moment you start taking that action, you start doing something, all of a sudden these negative emotions that you feel, whether depression, anxiety, stress, they just seem to magically disappear. It is like something in the human nature tells us that when we go and do actions, we start doing something to fix the situation that we are in. It rewards us by eliminating those bad emotions. It is almost like we've been biologically and evolutionarily designed to be rewarded for doing something productive. And that's what our brain does. And so if you are depressed right now or feeling any negative emotions, sadness, anxiety and so on, then maybe if you start doing something, it will go away. And you don't even have to do anything necessarily big. If you just go walk outside, you might feel a bit better. If you just change the environment a bit, you clean the house a tiny bit, maybe not a deep clean, something, just put things in order, vacuum a bit, make it look a bit nicer, and you might feel good. And why I'm saying this is because we're in this culture where it is like advertised everywhere that depression will kill you and it is hopeless and you are helpless and for the rest of your life you will be sad and miserable and everything will suck. But I want to give you hope. As someone who overcame depression, who defeated that dangerous disease, I want to give you hope. You can do this. You can fix this. You are not hopeless and you are not helpless. But to overcome depression, to overcome the odds, to get rid of that pain in your heart, it requires that you change. Because the only thing that can change is you. And so if you want change, you are going to have to change. You're going to have to change your habits. What you do day to day, your routines. And once you do that, you start incorporating a bit of work, a bit of time with friends and family, a bit of time exercising, eating healthier. All of a sudden you won't feel depressed. I promise you, I guarantee you. And here's another test for you if you don't believe me. Have you ever met a person that worked hard, 8 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours a day, they exercise regularly, they do all the correct things, they eat clean, they spend time with other people, socializing just like humans are meant to do biologically, and somehow they're depressed? Have you ever met such a person? I haven't. Every time that I meet someone, once they start actually exercising, they get into good shape, they get into a healthy body fat level. They don't need to have a visible six-pack. You don't need to get that lean. But just getting healthy, just starting to exercise, just starting to take control of your own life, take some responsibility, all of a sudden it's like all these negative things just disappear. And so many times, if you feel down, you're in a rut in your life, you're depressed, you're all these bad things, maybe it's just because you're not doing enough. Ever thought about that? Many times people give you advice like, but if you're feeling down, take a day off. Take a day off if you feel bad, or you feel a bit depressed, something bad happened in your life. Take a day off. Relax. Just take it easy. Watch some TV. But has that ever helped? Have you ever woke up the next day and been like, damn, everything's changed, all of a sudden everything's fixed? No. But if you actually go and take action, you go and fix the situation, well, it won't bother you anymore because it's fixed. So whatever is making you depressed, maybe you're obese. I was overweight. Now I got a visible six-pack. You control that. You can change that. Once again, you're not hopeless and helpless like all these other people are telling you. You don't have to be miserable. You don't have to suffer. You can conquer and you can become better. You can become strong and powerful and take control of your life if you simply choose to. Now that responsibility is scary because it means that you actually have to be accountable. You have to say that the things are your fault. My life is my fault. Where I am is my fault. But once you do that, you give yourself the power to change. Because you say that, it's my fault that I'm obese. Or it's my fault that I'm overweight. It's not because nobody taught me how to eat well. Or because somebody offered me, junk food. No. It's my fault. I can always say no when somebody offers me junk food or alcohol or whatever. And I can always just use the internet, which you have access to because you're watching this, to learn how to eat properly. Learn a nutritious, good, balanced diet and start eating it. Learn how to exercise even without equipment. You don't need to buy a gym membership. You can do workouts at home. And once again, you say, I take control. You stop being lazy. You stop procrastinating. You stop pushing away the problems. And you embrace them. You face them. You turn around and you say, fuck it. I'm gonna fight back. And all of a sudden, things get better. All of a sudden, it doesn't seem that scary anymore. The moment you turn around and face the monsters, they're no longer scary. You are no longer afraid. And so the moment you start taking responsibility, you start saying, maybe this depression thing, I can fight it off. Because inside you are strong. You have a strong heart and a strong soul. I can see it. And I believe in you. Even if the whole world is against you, even if no one else, I believe in you. I see it within you that you can do this. If you stop being lazy, you start taking action. You start doing things to fix the situation that you are in. And yes, it's difficult. It has its own challenges. But isn't fixing the situation and going through the temporary, key point, temporary pain of change, isn't that better than the eternal pain of staying here? Think about that. You have two choices right now. Either you stay here because you say, you know what, no, I'm not gonna listen to you. You know what, I'm not lazy. I can do what I want. Sure you can. Sure you can. I can never control you. You can choose to not do anything. You can choose to stay here. You can choose to change nothing. You can choose to not work hardly. You can choose to not exercise. You can choose to not learn how to eat well. You can choose all those things. But don't be surprised if nothing changes. If the misery that you feel does not change, if the pain within you does not change, don't be surprised. But if you choose to change, you know what? After watching this, I'm gonna go for a walk. And then I'm gonna clean the house a bit. And then I'm gonna research how to eat well. And you know what? Then I'm gonna look at a good workout program and I'm gonna go to the gym tomorrow. Real steps, real action towards improving your situation. And all of a sudden you feel better. All of a sudden it's like that depression just goes away. The stress goes away. The anxiety goes away. And if you just commit to that, and tomorrow you actually go to the gym, you start getting healthier, better, in better shape. And then you start working on something. You know what? I can maybe post videos of your own. Maybe you can do that. Maybe you can start that business that you dreamt of and start working on it. And yes, it's difficult. Yes, it's hard. Yes, there is challenges. But somehow that pain is different to the pain that you feel right now. The pain of getting better is fulfilling. That pain is simply a sign that you're doing something to grow, and it actually motivates you. It's in a sense a reminder that you are doing something, you are living life and you are in control. You choose your destiny. And that is a better pain than the pain of being helplessly stuck in the same place forever. And so the choice is yours. Are you gonna remain lazy and do nothing to fix the situation that you are in? Or are you gonna take action? And with that action, solve all the problems that you have. Whether mental, physical, social, your choice. And so I'm gonna leave you with the message that I always do. Go out there, stay disciplined, chase your dreams, and have a fantastic day.